So your other meals should be protein, fat, and vegetables that grow above the ground. Now, fruit, people are like, well, you're not recommending fruit. I'm not saying fruit is bad. Fruit's good. It's got all kinds of great stuff in it, like antioxidants and nutrients and stuff. But it's very, very high in fructose, right? So, and everybody's heard at this point, like, by how high fructose corn syrup is bad, and that's what's in sodas and processed foods, and it's really bad. So, but even fructose in its natural form, if body fat loss and body composition is the goal, still isn't the greatest. So fruit is still healthy, don't get me wrong, that's not the takeaway from that either. Fruit is still very, very healthy, but if fat loss and body composition is the goal, fructose is the least likely naturally occurring sugar that your liver can convert into glycogen, so back in your muscle stores, right, to be used again as energy, and has a very high likelihood that it hangs out in the liver, like we were talking about earlier. The liver just gets fed up with it hanging out and get out of here and sends it to body fat stores, right? So anything like the melon family being like the worst offenders, right? Cantaloupe, like honeydews are really bad. Bananas are bad. Pineapples are bad. From the fructose content standpoint, grapes are really, really bad. Like 86% of the sugar content in grapes is fructose, right? So yeah, so I mean, if you really wanted to have fruit, right, then
berry. Except for strawberry.
And except for strawberry. And if it's going to be strawberry, make damn sure it's organic. So only really buy your strawberries throughout the summer, okay? So ingredients in an organic strawberry. Strawberry.
No cardboard?
Not like a GMO strawberry, like 80 some, like cross DNA things going on.
Like the asparagus at Costco that looks like it's on steroids.
Yeah, so now here's where we get into GMOs, right? So again, paleo being the basis for your nutrition. Paleo being the basis. Don't look at it as like, you want to look at paleo as what it's taking out of your diet. So again, you want to try and go with organic fruits and vegetables if you can, right? GMO, the problem with GMOs is that, I mean, they're modifying these food thousands of times over to be resistant to pesticides and herbicides and fungicides, but they're developing these foods to be resistant, right? So, and you look at the nutrient value too of GMO versus like traditionally grown foods is greatly different. There's 0 zinc content in GMO tomato, and there's like hundreds of milligrams in the organic tomato, right?
So what about the brown or white rice?
So we talk about grains, and rice is a grain, okay? Now rice is kind of my allowable grain, right? That again would be post-WOD because it's still a starchy carb. But the reason for that being is that you don't buy rice and just eat raw rice, right? You cook the rice, you boil the rice. So as you boil the rice, anybody who's cooked rice, which I'm assuming is that I hope is everybody has cooked some rice at some point in their life, you need to rinse it because you have that weird slime that's left in the water after. You've basically gotten rid of a lot of the bad stuff that has to do with grains has been boiled off, and you're left with a pretty clean, pretty nice carb. Now, I mean, processed white rice, minute rice, obviously not the best. It's been bleached, been processed. There's a super high glycemic index, right? So it's saying your insulin soaring. I'm a huge fan of actually basmati rice. Brown rice, if you prefer, is great. Like, it's still got a low glycemic index, still a very clean carb once it's been cooked. If you can find, though, black rice is my favorite. Black rice tastes really, really good. I never get sick of it. Cooks very, very easily. If you guys have bulk barn here, you can get black rice. It has a higher protein content than a lot of other rices. For most people, I mean, basmati is pretty popular. It's got a good texture. It still has a somewhat sweet taste, but the glycemic index, even though it's a white rice, is very low. It doesn't really send your insulin soaring. It's very, very good for replenishing glycogen. So rice, once it's been cooked and boiled, yeah, is my one acceptable grain.
So you don't like quinoa?
Quinoa is not a grain; it's a seed.
Oh, okay.
So seeds are okay.
Seeds
are
are
actually, yeah, seeds are not grains. They're okay, right? But again, nuts and seeds should be also limited quantities, right? Because we're still talking like quite a bit of omega-6. If you that omega-3 to 6 ratio gets too imbalanced, again, you have inflammation. But they're acceptable for sure. Hemp seeds, awesome. Flax seeds are amazing. Now, a lot of people say, well, it's got to be milled to get the omegas from the flax seeds. I don't want people to take flax seeds for the omegas because, again, the conversion rate, as we spoke, is 5%. So don't take flax seeds as your omega-3 source. Flax seeds in their whole form are really great because they actually help your body control insulin throughout the day. So the by having flax seeds,
You don't grind
you
them?
control cravings. No need to.
No?
No, the reason people grind them is to get the omega-3 out of them.
Okay.
And the omega-3, like I said, only has a 5%
Works like
conversion rate
sandpaper,
from
but
plant-based
So
omega-3.
where do you put the flax seeds? You just like.
So for people who like to like do like say if you want to do like your own cereal or something, a big thing that we'll do at home because I don't want my kids eating friggin' cereal,
Yeah.
right? Is that I just have this little 10-gram scoop, and I do 2 scoops of chia, I do 2 scoops of hemp, I do 1 scoop of flax, and I do 2 scoops of pumpkin seeds, and I do that, and then I like mix up some almond milk with vanilla protein. I put that on there, and it's like a protein-rich, super high nutrient, high magnesium, high potassium cereal. Cereal. And that's not even for breakfast. I mean, that's just as like a snack throughout the day, right?
You blend it, or you just put it? You just
You just
mix
make
it
it
up?
like it's like freaking cereal, man.
No.
Let it sit for a while
I'm
too, right?
confused. So like all that stuff and the almond milk and that's it?
Yeah, man.
It's not Fruit Loops. Sprinkle some sugar on
It's
top.
amazing. It tastes
Okay, can you
amazing.
repeat? Yeah.
So, chia, hemp, flax, and pumpkin seed.
You get your hemp from Costco?
Yeah, there's one of the other good things from Costco is the hemp that they have. You can get the giant bag there for the same price as the small bag at like Superstore. It's way bigger and you get way more. The chia at Costco too is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have the black salva. It's really good. Really, really good chia from there as well. Yeah. I think I got my pumpkin seeds there too.
Yeah.
I can't remember where I got those there or bulk barn, but yeah, pumpkin seeds is I got there as well. Yeah. And then if you wanted to jazz up your crazy seed bowl, right? You could throw some berries in there.
You ought to be crazy.
So I mean that with like raspberries and stuff, like, and it's good because what's cool too, especially chia seed is really cool. I'm a big fan of chia seed because chia seed gels up, right?
Yeah.
So if you let it sit for a while, it was almost like a puddingy kind of like texture. And what's cool with foods that gel, chia, aloe vera, things like that, is that foods that gel up are really, really cool for helping your liver do its job and detox your body. They help bind up biosols and toxins, and those gels can surround some of those toxins, and they help go through your digestive tract better. So you have better poos because you're getting rid of more bad stuff that's in your system, right? Because when we talk about, and that's one of the issues we'll talk about today too, is toxins, right? Toxins are what we call lipophilic. They're fat-loving. Toxins are fat-loving. So when you get toxins in your body, say we get toxins in our body, like if you have no stick cookware, and throw it out. Go to a yard sale and find some really old cast iron stuff and use it and use coconut oil, right? So we look at that stuff. And the coating that's on there, the Teflon, if that gets in your system, is very, 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 very hard to get out, and it's very, very toxic. But we look at other toxins too, like lead and mercury. If you're drinking a non-organic coffee, you're getting high amounts of a heavy metal called cadmium, which is very pro-inflammatory. It's going to cause all kinds of soreness and all kinds of really bad stuff. So cadmium is really, really bad. If you're using non-organic soaps and shampoos, you're getting a load of sodium lauryl sulfate. Sometimes there's lauryl sulfate that is on there, which is awesome for skin cancer. Your hair smells wonderful. Like have fun with skin cancer, right? So that's really, really bad. We look at air pollutants that are going stuff. So we have a lot of toxins that accumulate in our body. And they're all fat-loving. So your body doesn't want toxins going around in general circulation, right? That would be really bad if this stuff was just going through your bloodstream. So what it does is your body surrounds toxins with fat. So it surrounds with fat. So you're like, man, my diet's really, really good now. Okay, so I'm going to go diet for an hour, and I'm not eating carbs at breakfast, and jerk. So my diet's really good, and my training's next level. And now I'm to the point where I'm like fit soft, right? Like the abs are kind of there, but like kind of soft, right? And you probably have like some accumulation of toxins, right? And your body doesn't want them in circulation, so it surrounds them with fat. And until you address the issue of detoxifying the body and getting rid of those toxins, you're always going to have that thinner layer of fat, right? So you need to get those toxins out of the body. And foods that gel, like chia and aloe vera, will really help you do that. There's 2 sea-based nutrients, chlorella and spirulina, which are amazing at actually helping bind up those toxins that are surrounded by fat and flush them out of your body. They are found in high doses, luckily enough, in veggie greens or cider greens. So you could look at taking those in supplemental form, right? So that's going to help get rid of those as well. And then, I mean, other than that, I mean, take a look at just what's like in your house, right? Take a look at anything that's like fragrant. Anything that's fragrance is really, really bad. Maybe like Glade plugins are like the worst. So get rid of them. You know, find some natural essential oil or something if you want your house to smell pretty. Like, pay the extra money, especially when it comes to soap and shampoo, and get organic. And toothpaste too. Oh my God! Please get an organic toothpaste. Right? You don't want that stuff in there. Fluoride's it's neurotoxic, right? It's brain toxic. So that's really bad. So yeah.
What's your take on estrogen?
Isogenics,
Isogenic?
supplement company.
Yeah. It's like a
Yeah, it's like they make their protein.
meal supplement.
Yeah, like pyramid kind of protein.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's a rid of like
protein.
Shakeology.
Yeah.
I'd have to see the ingredients because I know like 2 years ago the biggest pain in my ass was Body by V. It was like it was the same kind of deal. I have isogenics. I'd have to look at the ingredients to give you some feedback. I will. You know what? When we're done, I'll go on my phone. I'll look at isogenics. I'll look over the ingredients and I'll definitely give you my opinion on whether it's good or bad. I mean, Body by V was like the worst ever. Their base protein was soy protein isolate, and soy is a bastard. I hate it. Okay, so soy is really, really high in phytoestrogens. Okay, phyto just means plant-based, like phytoberries. So it's just plant-based, right? So plant-based estrogen. You consistently consume soy protein in high doses. At one point, those phytoestrogens start mimicking estrogen. So you want water retention for women if you want your period to last 3 or 4 days longer, or if you have a young daughter and you want her to start her period like 3 or 4 years ahead of the time that she's supposed to, then keep filling them full of soy. The other reason I hate soy, it is the most genetically modified food on the planet. The most genetically modified. It is near impossible to find organic soy. The only product I've ever seen is this company called Bragg that has a certified organic, like, liquid amino soy sauce, which is like the only soy product I would like ever allow anywhere near my house. But soy is really, really bad. And that's soy like wheat, right, has been modified, and they want to grow it and want to, you know, make many crops and feed a mass population. So they deal with that, but they're just like killing people's hormone levels and causing inflammation. Yeah, soy is really, really bad. So I'll look at estrogenics and I'm hoping to God there's not another
I have it
one.
here.
Oh, is that estrogenics? Cool. Thank you. What was it?
Sophie, you're dying. You're dying.
So whey protein concentrate is the first ingredient. So I mean, and it's undenatured, so that's not bad. Milk protein concentrate. So when I see milk protein concentrate, I'd rather see milk protein isolate. So milk protein concentrate, we're probably still going to see some lactose in here, right? Probably maybe 5%. Like if it's concentrated, it's maybe 5% lactose, which is not like entirely bad. But for milk protein, I'd rather see isolate, but that's still not bad. Skim milk powder, not good. Next ingredient, fructose. All right, so probably it tastes awesome. Yeah.
PB soup tastes awesome.
Fructose, natural Dutch cocoa powder, which is cool. I'm a huge fan of natural Dutch cocoa. Natural Dutch cocoa is very anti-inflammatory. Has a pile of antioxidants, really, really good. Let's see here. Isomalto-oligosaccharides, so that's just a prebiotic fiber, which is actually going to help feed the healthy bacteria in the gut. Sunflower oil, which is not that bad. Natural flavor. Xanthan gum, which is an emulsifier. Flaxseed, fine. MCTs, those are great. Yeah, it's not, this is not an entirely terrible product. Yeah. In terms of, I mean, I'd rather see that the milk protein was isolate than concentrate, but overall, that's actually a pretty decent product. Yeah.
What do you think of calorie count?
Myth. Calorie count is an absolute myth. All right.
So you're saying like zone is good because it tells you portion wise.
Kind of tells you portion wise stuff. Calorie counting is like it'll work for the short term. It'll work for the short term.
Like for me, like I can eat. Like it could be healthy, it could be not healthy. I can eat.
So
I've never seen anything.
going back to your nutrient timing, right? If you're only having starchy carbs, right? For a majority of them, like 80% of your starchy carbs in your post-WOD meal, your
But I work out
post-workout
in the
meal.
morning at
Yeah.
7.
Yeah, so you're not, so when you get up, you still need to have your little power breakfast, and then your starchy carbs after, and the rest of the day, it's vegetables that grow above the ground, proteins and fats. Go for it. Go for it, right? You're looking at like, you can't eat too much spinach. You can't have too much fiber.
I can eat a huge chunk of steak though.
Which is okay, but I mean, make sure the balance is there, right? Right? When you look, let's say if I was to draw like your plate of food. Let's do this.
I find it every 3 hours makes a huge difference.
Pizza.
Yeah. You eat every 3 hours, okay? I mean, this should be veggies that grows above the ground. When I say veggies, I mean ones that grow above the ground. This should be veggies that grow above the ground, and then I mean you want to kind of like have meat and fat here. If it's your post-WOD meal, then this would be your starchies, right? Okay, and then if it was not that, okay, and include your meals through the rest of the day.
Do you think I should eat before I work out? I don't think I can eat that.
What's that?
You
Then at least do the power shake. At least do
Protein shake.
at least do the protein shake. It's with a handful of nuts or a handful of blueberries.
Because I usually drink my protein shake after working out. I should drink it before.
Make sure you get up and get something in your stomach right away. Yeah, because you wake up, you're in a muscle wasting state, right? So, and I mean the other benefits of that too, right? And having those above ground veggies at every meal of the day. I mean, one is they're loaded with nutrients, but two, you're getting a lot of fibers, right? Because people are like, well, you just cut out dairy, you're not supposed to get my calcium. Well, spinach, if you're consuming it like throughout the day, or you're consuming a lot of these vegetables that grow above the ground throughout the day, you're getting enough what we call incidental calcium. Incidentally, you just happen to have pretty good doses of calcium. That's more bioavailable than it is in milk, which isn't bioavailable at all, right? Throughout the day, and your bone mineral density will go up, right? Especially if you're taking that vitamin D supplement at the recommended dose, right? Then you're getting a ton of fiber. So when it comes to body composition, when it comes to health again, fiber is good because it's going to feed, again, those healthy bacteria in your gut. But here's what's awesome about fiber when it comes to body composition. Besides having great poos and feeling fuller for longer, right? Like, fiber makes you feel fuller for longer. If you're consistently getting fiber throughout the day, you feel more satisfied, you have less cravings to eat crap, okay? What's really cool about fiber, though, is the impact it has, again, we talk about counting calories, but burning calories is still important, right? You shouldn't count calories, but, you still need to exercise and burn calories and be active, is that fiber costs your body 7 calories for every 1 gram of it that you eat. You lose 7 calories, right? So the minimum recommended dose of fiber that I would recommend for a woman is 35 grams a day. 35 grams of fiber. A minimum for a man would be 50.
Do you count all that? Do you count all the protein you eat, all the fiber you eat, all that? Do you keep track?
So I don't count, but I'm at the point now where like I've been
You're getting enough.
doing it long enough, right? I mean, I just kind of eyeball stuff and
So can you give us a typical day?
for me,
Yeah.
I mean, this morning, what I had like 6 pieces of bacon, 2 free-range eggs, and a pint of blackberries for breakfast with a veggie bean shake. And when I get up to, a big thing I do when I get up is I stand in a glass of water right away. Helps lubricate your organs and stuff. And if you're doing that every day after a couple of weeks, you should pretty much go to the bathroom and improve science, right?
Yeah.
Get rid of toxins accumulated from the previous day. All right. Next meal. Right, I mean, depending on where I'm, if it's saying if I'm at home, then probably I'm a big fan of, I love fish, so I'll probably look at like salmon or trout. I'd have a good portion of that, like, if you want to weigh or measure it, I guess 4 to 6 ounces, I just, I'm like, oh, it's the size of my hand, there, that's what I'll have. And, some avocado, huge fan of sauteing mushrooms in coconut oil and spice, like I have so many spices on my spice rack now, and spicing those up. Next meal, we'll debate. It depends on what time I'm doing my WOD that day. So I may or may not have like a little bit of starches, but I do starches pre and post. But if body composition is good in post, I'm already happy with my body composition. Right? So again, I'm looking at probably a bunch of kale or steamed spinach. Some kind of meat, grass-fed pork or grass-fed beef. At that point. Maybe do my wonderful seed mix if I'm feeling lazy that day and don't want to cook. And then, we'll look at, it's getting time for my WOD because I'm like an afternoon guy, so I'll do my WOD, do like a pre-workout with amino acids or something, and then post-WOD I get carb powder and a drink again. And then for me, at that point, I do really, really well with sweet potatoes or red skin potatoes. So my post-WOD meal, yeah, I just hammer a pile of those carbs in. I get a huge portion of the starches at that meal, replenish my glycogen. And I guess my starchy carb meal, I tend to do a little bit less fat, so I'll do like a leaner meat with that meal. And then, yeah, you're looking later in the night, I mean, just kind of depends. Depends on where I'm at. If I'm still kind of craving carbs, then I still allow that extra 20% of starchies for the 80% of my post-WOD meal, or like a protein shake or something. At night, I don't really feel like cooking at 8:30 at night, so nights when I'm lazy, that's when I have like a shake or something. So I'm gonna have some more Vikings or Game of Thrones or whatever. That was being season at that time. Yeah.
Do you ever have a cheat meal?
Oh yeah, sure. And cheat meals are important, right? But it's
a
like
cheat meal like a regular meal for us.
it's like a cheat meal for me is like going out for sushi.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Right? So, like, I can cheat with pizza, and I have cheated with pizza. I pay for it the next day. Like in spades. Yeah, when I'm eating it, I'm like, oh, well, delicious pizza. Every cheat meal, and then like the next 2 or 3 days, and I can't run to the end of the block. I can't breathe. Like, I sleep really good that night, though. Yeah, but cheat meals are important. I mean, just for balance. You gotta have some kind of balance in your life. You know what I mean? I mean, you still get to enjoy life. But I mean, for me, I just eat like really clean on a fairly consistent basis. So that's like it gets to a point where there's like something like social event coming up or something, and I want to be able to go take part, right, and enjoy food as opposed to show up with my Tupperware meals or like there's fucking Scott again with his Tupperware, right? It's like then maybe I'll do my cheat then, or if I know that I have nothing coming up, then I plan my cheat. Like I like doing my cheats on Sunday nights, right? Sundays are usually shorter days for me. Yeah, once a week for me. Like, you're right. So you're looking at eating 5 or 6 meals a day, right? 7 days. So one out of all those meals I'm having a cheat, right? And it's good. I mean, you know, it's the end of the week. It's Sunday. I worked really hard all week. Sunday night I finally get to relax, and I trick the kids into going to bed earlier that night. I just, it's just, it's my little reward at the end of it for having gone all week of training and working and eating really clean. Now there's been times like if on Sunday night I'm not craving my cheat meal, I don't have it. Right? I'll wait and have it for when I want it. Like most Sundays I don't. But yeah, cheat meals, yeah, they're important. Yeah, you got to stay sane, right? And it's hard too for like, all the takeaways I'm giving you. I'm giving a lot of information. It's like it's gonna be hard to go home and just be like, here's what I was doing, and I'm gonna do 100% what Scott does. Like it took me years to get to this point.
Yeah.
So look at your diet as it is now. Look at the things that you know are the worst in it, right? Look at the things that you know are the worst. And take out like 2 of them, right? And replace them with 2 things that are good. And do that for a couple months, right? Do that for a couple months until that becomes normal. And then reassess, right? After 8 or 10 weeks, reassess and then look at what's left that is bad again. And then take out 1 or 2 at that point, right? Because you've taken out a couple of the worst. Then take out 1 or 2 at that point, and then do that for 8 or 10 weeks, and then reassess, right? And then again, and then again. And then before you know it, at the end of the year, you've lost weight, you're performing better, you feel better, and your diet's impeccable. And then when it gets to cheat day, you're like, cool, I love cheat day. It's great, yeah.
Can I ask you a question about your meals? Because you said you eat every 3 hours. So like your snacks or whatever, are they smaller portions in your meals, or do you keep like the same?
I eat kind of meals, right? Like if I'm like, when I'm down here and I'm staying with Chris and stuff, I just kind of cook my meals one at a time. But when I'm at home, like I'm like in industrial quantity kind of guy, right? Like, so it's like turn on the oven, turn on the smaller oven because we don't have a microwave in our house. If you have a microwave,
You don't reheat anything, do you?
I reheat it in the toaster oven. If you have a microwave, fucking smash it. Destroys nutrients. Absolutely destroys nutrients. Destroys them. Yeah, really bad stuff. Plus, it makes your food taste like crap anyway. So I'll reheat them.
Or you could just give it to someone who doesn't have a microwave.
If you want them dead, yeah. Yeah. So it's like if I'm gonna cook, it's like okay, well it's like if I'm gonna cook salmon, I'm not gonna I'm gonna cook 2 pieces of salmon.
Right.
I'm just gonna cook like a huge piece, so I know that's like good for like 4 or 5 meals, right? And fish keeps up for good for like 2 days in the fridge. beef, pork, or chicken's good for 3 days in the fridge, right? So I cook like a huge quantity of foods 2 or 3 times a week, right? And then the one meal that I always cook every day is breakfast. Like, I always make my breakfast fresh. Yeah, I want 3-day-old eggs. And when you eat eggs too, try and keep the yolks as raw as possible, if you can stand that.
Oh.
A lot of the enzymes that you need to break down the protein in eggs is in the yolk. I mean, if you can't, you can't. But if you can, do that. Yeah, it's really, really important. And for eggs, try and find pastured eggs, or at least free range.
So your
Don't
meals.
get your just general grocery store variety eggs. They're really bad.
So your meals are pretty much the same size throughout the day, except for
Yeah, because I don't count calories. I don't count calories.
you just do
I'm
like.
hungry. I eat. Yeah.
Where do you get your grass-fed meat?
I mean, depends. Back home, I get it from in New Brunswick. I get it from this guy. It's called Jolly Farmer Farms. I get a lot of my grass-fed pork from them. Grass-fed beef from Springbrook. Down here, you guys have Blue Mountain, which is really, he's got a website. Wild Mountain. Yeah. So Wild Mountain. You can do your order. You can do your orders online through him. He comes to Halifax once every week. I believe the Popeyes of Dartmouth is one of the drop ones.
You do D and Joe's and Penn's Plains.
Yeah.
D and Joe's,
Yeah, there's a lot of grass-fed beef places around.
Do you guys have drop off at
outside
Popeyes?
of Halifax?
Do you guys have a drop off for grass-fed meat if you order? Do you guys have a preferred company or anything?
Sackville every Thursdays.
Sackville every Thursday is
Yeah.
Wild Mountain.
Oh,
So
Sackville's
you,
scary
you
place
gotta
to
go
drive.
to, you go to his website, you do the order, and then they'll meet you in Sackville.
Oh, okay.
I can hook you up.
D and Joe's, and I think you must be places in Halifax too.
But I mean, go to your farmer's market too, right? Farmer's market's awesome. I love going to the farmer's market. One, it's super fun. Like, it's just that you get to get out. Okay? Depends, right? So the big thing that I hear a lot, right? You're like, man, you eat all this grass-fed meat, you're eating organic, blah, blah, blah. It's expensive. Look, people are spending money putting big stupid tires on their cars. They want the latest, greatest DVD player, the biggest, widest television, right? They want to do this to their house, they want to do that to their house. People's priorities are really messed up, right? So look, you just need to look at like that's the North American culture. Consume, right? But it's like, well, why are you cutting money on what you're putting into your system, into your body, right? It's creating health, right? So maybe you don't buy 2 DVDs this month, right? Because you look at the cost difference, right? Like, now that I eat that clean, it's maybe an extra $100 a month, right? Plus, if you are going to your farmer's market, you're helping a guy that works in your community that wants to provide you with healthy food, pay his rent, right? Pay his mortgage on his farm so that he can feed good healthy food. As opposed to, you think Superstore cares if you don't go next week? They don't even know you're there, right? So,
A lot of the meat from Superstore is like Argentinian meat.
if you absolutely got to go to the grocery store, then just make the healthier option and go to the organic section at least, because at least probably this time of year, hopefully you're buying from the local guys. But yeah, farmer's market, I mean, you're supporting local business. You're helping some guy sustain his farm, right, and provide you with healthy food, and you're taking care of your health, right? So it's, yeah, people's priorities are just messed up right now. They're so focused on things and not on health.
So if you were to say change one thing starting today would be breakfast and then go from there?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, for the big thing, if performance and body composition is the goal, it would be.
Because it's hard to change everything at once. Like you
Yeah,
said.
it would be, and like I said, you need to look at like where you look at the 2 places you think you're doing the worst in nutrition. The 2, right? Like make your top 10 list, and right out of the bat, like what are the 10 things, right, that I think in my nutrition that are bad. Inbox me. I don't know. I get like questions in inboxes I get a day, and like email and Facebook and stuff. People asking, I'll gladly answer anytime. Might not answer you like 2 minutes after you message me, but I'll answer you. I'll be glad to help out. But yeah, it's you know, like I said, it's you take a bit out, you do it for a couple months, and then then your normal diet just got that much better. Then you do it again after a couple months, and after a year, your diet's really good. Right? I mean, it's not going to happen overnight. That's and that's part of the problem with the industry too, is that and society too. When we talk about things and people, and we're in a society right now, it's like now, right? Like, just want everything great now. It's like, well, should we freak out? Okay, then just do it right. Do it smart, do it right, take your time, be patient, and when the results get there, you appreciate them that much more, because honestly, if you're losing more than more than 3.5 pounds a week, you're probably starting to lose muscle, right? So that's like you're safe, like 3 pounds a week is a safe amount and a reasonable amount for your body to lose, where you're also not going to kind of go into shock and you have less of a chance of rebound, right? Because when you create a new fat cell, you've got it for life, right? So I don't know the total number of fat cells in the human body. But it's just like, for argument's sake, you have 1 million fat cells in your body, okay? And your diet gets really off track and you get to 1.2 million fat cells in your body. The rest of your life, you're going to lose 1.2 million fat cells, right? There's no burning fat, you can shrink it, right? You're going to shrink it and kind of tells it, but the cells are there, like you've got that now, right? So, you know, just do those gradual changes, keep the fat cell count low, try not to gain, and then gradually lose. Because if you rebound it and do a regain too, every time you regain, it gets consistently harder to lose it again and again and again, right? So you're just setting yourself up to have a harder time every time. Right? So yeah, be patient, trust the process, do it gradually for sure. I said it took me years to get my diet, you know, to where it is now, to the point where I started, studying the orthomolecular stuff and getting the point of like what nutrients do what and what foods. I mean, that's where I'm at now, but I mean, a few years ago, I was just like, okay, like, cut out dairy, oh, I can breathe better, cool, like, and then I get used to that. And then I was like, okay, well, I'm not recovering as bad. And then I was like, okay, well, then I cut out processed starches, right, like wheats and breads and pastas. And then I felt better again. And then it was like, it wasn't like I got up one day and was like, oh, here's how I'm going to eat now, right? It was just constant education and, you know, studying and doing different certifications and giving seminars and talking to people and being in the industry. It's easy for me. It's easy for me because it's what I talk about every day, right? So I was like, I don't know what everybody here does for a living, but it's like, you know, like you can talk to me about like some complex thing in terms of skeletal